Hey guys, Jason Messer here, and thanks for checking out CheatCC.com, where we enhance your gaming experience. Now, we all know sex sells, and the video game industry is no exception. But sometimes developers seem to forget that it takes more than just TNA to make a game great. So we're counting down our top 5 worst offenders as we take a look at these releases that were more girl than actual game. Starting off our countdown is the guy game. The appropriately named Top Heavy Studios only released one title to their name, which was seriously marketed solely on its high flash factor. It's a trivia game at its core, so it's not really all that fun to begin with, but as you progress through each quiz, you do get to watch young co-eds strip away their clothing until they're fully nude. Now at first, the nakedness is covered up from view until you play through the game on the harder levels. As you grind through these even more benign groups of questions, the girls slowly become more in focus until the full, uncut, uncensored footage is made available for your viewing enjoyment. Basically, if they ever made internet porn into a game, we'd consider this the tutorial stage. Number 4 on our list is the adorable Lollipop Chainsaw. You didn't think Juliet Starling would miss out on being listed here, did you? Her outing is seriously nothing but a grinding excuse to get her nearly naked, and the option to move the camera around in provocative ways is mostly what added much to the gameplay. Sadly, this TNA ended up being one of the best parts of the game, aside from, of course, her best parts. But bottom line, it was a mediocre hack-and-slash title with a lackluster plot, sprinkled with some mildly clever smartassery. But hey, Juliet's cute, so it allows us to forgive the fact that, honestly, it wasn't all that awesome. Explaining our number 3 entry is likely a moot point, but for the sake of argument, we'll give it a go. Playboy The Mansion basically lets you become Hugh Hefner. You get to run the mansion and see the fruits of your labor in all their silicone glory firsthand. Players have choices to make concerning the monthly magazine, and naturally get to fool around with the playmates, who are essentially no challenge at all to get in the sack, by the way. But then again, you're Hef, so why would it be? This title doesn't have much in the way of real gameplay like Sims 4, for example, so expect to suffer through a lot of broken mechanics and tediousness just to see some polygon nudity. Frankly, it's fairly lame, and if you're still looking for this sort of thing on the PlayStation 2, I have to assume you live in a part of the world where YouPorn is non-existent. Clocking in at number 2 is Girl Fight. Now you'd think the name says it all, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Sure, it's a game about chicks battling it out wearing next to nothing while pummeling the crap out of each other, but we found the only fight left in us after playing this turd of a game was the fight it took to delete it off our hard drives. That's how pissed you'll be once you realize just how bad it is. Seriously, we'd rather play through an all-night fight-a-thon with clay fighters than wade through this thing one more time. But wait, it has boobs, you say? Well, that's true if glued-on inanimate objects that hardly move are your thing. They're as fake as this game's attempt at, well, being a game. Needless to say, it ain't Street Fighter. And finally, in the number 1 slot is a classic among adolescent teens everywhere, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Let's face it, this game, though surprisingly good for what it was, sold entirely on its boob factor. So much so, they actually dedicated a huge portion of their dev team to studying breast physics, which I imagine is the longest line at the job fair. They went as far as to measure how women's chests move, bounce, roll, and whatever else they do while a scantily clad femme fatale rolls around in the sand. So we feel if that's what Team Ninja was going for, accurate physics, you gotta give them credit where credit is due, as they actually nailed it pretty well. Not to mention, they walked ass backwards into creating a pretty decent series in the process. And that is our top 5 girls in gaming countdown. I'm Jason Messer, thanks for watching, and remember, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like and the share buttons, subscribe to our channel, and as always, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter.